Dearest citizen of the world, believe the time has come to reveal to you some of the perplexities you have faced in recent decades. It is well for you to understand some of these things so that you might know how to behave in the new order now taking shape on the earth. We want you to be able to become fully involved and integrated into our new society. After all, this is for your best interest if you will do. First of all, it is well that you understand some of our purposes so that you may more fully cooperate. I cannot tell you the hard times you will face if you resist us. We have ways of dealing with resistors. I am only telling you this now, since it is much too late to turn things around. The days of putting a stop to us have long since passed. We have full control of the earth and its finance, along with the major media propaganda, and there is simply no way any nation or power can defeat us. We have eyes in every level of government in every nation of the world. We know what is being planned, for our ears and eyes are ever present. State secrets are fully known to us. China recently accused the media in the US of lying about Kosovo. Oh, you silly people, of course we lie. In this way we can keep the people unbalanced and always facing controversy, which is very helpful to us. Have you not seen the talk show spectacle? Some of you believe we are the liberals and the good people are the conservatives. In reality, both serve our purposes. Each camp merely serves with the stamp of our approval, but they are not allowed to present the real issues. By creating controversy on all levels, no one knows what to do. So, in all of this confusion, we go ahead and accomplish what we want with no hindrance. Consider the President of the United States. Even though he regularly breaks every known check on his power, no one can stop him. He goes ahead and does whatever we want him to do anyway. The Congress has no power to stop him. He does what we want, since he knows if he does not, because of his rather dark character, we can have him removed in a moment's time. Is not that a rather brilliant strategy on our part? You cannot take us to court because you can see us in the courts are our servants as well. We run everything, yet you do not know who to attack. I must say this hidden hand is wonderfully devised and without any known historical precedent on this scale. We rule the world and the world cannot even find out who is ruling them. This is truly a wonderful thing. In our media we present before you exactly what it is we want you to do. Then, as if in a flash, our little servants obey. We can send American or European troops to wherever we like, whenever we like, and for whatever purpose we like, and you dutifully go about our business. How much more evidence do you need? We can make you desire to leave your homes and family and go to war merely at our command. We only need to present some nonsense to you from the President's desk or on the evening news and we can get you all fired up to do whatever we like. You can do nothing but what we put before you. Your vain resistance when any of you seek to resist us, we have ways of making you look ridiculous, as we have done with your militia movement. We have delighted to use this movement to show the world how impotent any resistance is. They look so silly marching around with their guns as if they were some match for our military. Look at what we did near Waco. Did the Davidians' little store of weapons help them? We have generously taxed you and used that money to make such sophisticated weapons you can in no way compete. Your own money has served to forge the chains we bind you with, since we are in control of all money. Some of you think you may escape by buying some land in the country and growing a garden. Let me remind you that you still pay us ground rent. Oh, you may call it property taxes, but it still goes to us. You see, you need money no matter what you do. If you fail to pay your ground rent to us, we will take your land and sell it to someone who will pay us. Do you think we cannot do this? And with your ground rent we pay for the indoctrination of your children in the public schools we have set up. We want them to grow up well trained into the system of our thinking. Your children will learn what we want them to learn, when we want them to learn it, and you pay for it through your ground rent. Those funds are also used for other projects we have in mind, and our contractors are paid handsomely for their work. You may doubt that we own your children, or have such control, but you will find that we do. We can declare that you abuse your children when you spank them and have them confiscated. If they do not show up for school indoctrination, we can accuse you of neglect, thereby giving them to us. Your children are not yours. They are ours. You must inoculate them, you must bring them to our hospitals if we decree, or we will take them from you. You know this and we know this. Through our electronic commerce we are able to see where you are, what you are buying, and how much you have to buy things with. Where do you suppose we come up with our monthly financial statistics? Through the internet and other sources we can even know how you think and what you say. It is not especially important to us what you believe as long as you do what we say. Your beliefs are nonsense anyway. But if you think you have a following, and we perceive that you might be somewhat dangerous to our agenda, we have ways to deal with you. We have a Pandora's box of mischief with which to snare you. We can have you in court so long you will never get out. We can easily drain away all your assets over one pretext or another. We have an inexhaustible fund with which to draw from to pay our lawyers. These lawyers are paid by you in the form of taxes. You do not have this vast supply of wealth. We know how to divide and conquer. Have we not brought down rulers of countries through our devices? Do you think your tiny self will be any match for us? And, let us consider your religions in the moral majority. The moral majority is neither moral nor is it in the majority. We have delighted to use this wet noodle of a movement to make ridiculous the Christian faith. The silly men who run that organization always end up with egg on their faces. We have always put them in defense of themselves, as we have so successfully done with UNRWA. We can make it seem by our media propaganda that the National Rifle Association is actually the new radical attackers. Have we not turned the American conservative movement on its ear? If it serves our purposes, we can use the conservatives to turn the liberals on their ear. It makes no difference to us, but it serves to make you believe there are two sides struggling for their particular position. This helps to make things seem fair and free, since everyone has a voice. Actually, there is only one side now with all kinds of masks on, but you are unable to penetrate our purposes. You see, we can do whatever we like and you can do nothing about it. Does it not seem reasonable that you simply obey and serve us? Otherwise, you get eaten up in the resistance you suppose will liberate you. You cannot be liberated. Imagine how you can. We supply your fuel for your cars. We can turn it off whenever we like, claiming that there is some sort of fuel shortage. What if your car breaks down? You cannot get parts for it without us. We supply all the money you use. At any whim of our desire we can stop the money supply or cause a complete crash altogether. We can then order the president to declare all money worthless and that we will have to have new money. All of your stashes of cash will go up in smoke in a moment's time. Don't you need food? If necessary, we can cause a truckers' strike which would stop deliveries of food to your local store. We can starve you whenever we like. You only have food because we have provided it to you from our table. During the Great Depression we controlled the food. We heaped mountains of food behind fences and let it rot. The hungry were then made to work in our labor camps even though there was enough and more to feed them. Do you really think you can beat us? You say you will hoard gold coins so you will still have money in the time of the crash. We can simply pass a law which outlaws the possession of gold as we have done in the past. If we find gold in your possession, we would simply confiscate it and put you in prison for breaking the law. While in prison you would be required to work in one of our prison industries. We have so formed a picture of the labor camps in our prisons these days that no one seems to object to them. We tell people that murderers should pay for their own keep. No one seems to consider that we have the power to put tomato growers there also. We can pass laws that prohibit gardens and then make up some scientific reason why you may only buy food from our sources. If someone sees you growing tomatoes, they will report you to us and then we will have you in our fields working for us. Oh, silly nationalists, there is no escape for you, for since long before you were born, we were planning your capture. Your teachers and ministers have been forming your thoughts for us for generations now. You have no idea how to pull out of our influence short of suicide. Go ahead and commit suicide. It will only help us to deal with the excessive population. You cannot hurt us, find us, or even imagine what we are up to. I am throwing you these few crumbs only so that you may, If you have a little good sense, obey and follow our orders. Also, we run Hollywood. The movies such as Terminator and Armageddon, along with a great host of others, were simply created to get you thinking according to our directions. You have been made to delight in violence so that when we send you off to kill some bad man we have put before you, you move without a whimper. We have placed violent arcade games in your malls to prepare your young minds in the art of battle. We have made you to view our armies and police as the good forces, and you submit to things that were unthinkable just a few decades ago. Our artful programs are all designed to help you submit and even help the New World Order. You are our property. We will not permit you to buy or sell unless you submit to our mark of authority. If you go to court against us, we will wear you out there, and in the end you will lose. If you use violence, we will end up having you in one of our labor camps, more specifically called prison industries. You need our money, our entertainments, our fuel, and our utilities to function, and if you don't have them, you feel deprived. By this, you were made to yield to our will. Sincerely, your globalist friend,